Now, your 41 NBC AccuWeather forecast, presented by Volume Chevrolet.
Well, welcome back in downtown Macon. Not too much going on for us. A very, very calm night along with those mild conditions. You do have a little bit of shower activity that is going on. That's really just going to be the northern reaches of the region that see that. I don't expect this to really move far south as it continues through tonight. Any rain that we do receive is going to be very, very light and short-lived. It will not make drought impacts, of course. As for those overnight lows, I largely do expect a lot of upper 30s. I do think some of these are a little conservative based on where we've been the past couple of nights. We have overachieved with how cold we were expecting to be the last few nights. For example, last night had a forecast low of 24. The actual was 21, which actually means last night was the coldest night of the week so far. Now, talk is about the storm heading into the weekend and over the weekend in regards to the winter impacts that we may see, and the tracks do seem to be shifting a little bit further north. That does not mean that, oh, okay, we're not getting ice now. No, that's definitely not what that means, but it can help to maybe alleviate some of those potential impacts. So this cold front that's been moving our way is going to stall out heading into the end of the week, and that will lead on to some shower chances. Then we go into Saturday. I expect things to start off as rain, but heading into the overnight hours, we could see a shift from rain into some freezing rain that lingers into at least the first parts of your Sunday. Now with this model, you do see a shift back into regular rain as we get into Sunday afternoon and evening, and that would be good if we can get those ground temperatures back above freezing, because that helps to remove a lot of those headaches. The problem and the caveat here is the models do not do a great job of addressing, and you notice how this warm front is like very zigzaggy looking. It's like, oh, why does it look like that? Well, the northern side of this is what we would refer to as cold air damming. It's cold air that gets stuck on the eastern side of the Appalachians, and the models typically do not do a really good job of estimating just how stubborn that cold air mass can be, which means that they can overestimate on how warm we expect to be. So I wouldn't be shocked if temperatures end up staying a little bit colder than expected on Sunday, which means that we do still have that possibility for some of this winter precip. Now, here's a glance around the entire region. Flat ice, what is that? Well, it's the ice that accumulates on the flat surface, roads, sidewalks, your doorstep, all right, things like that. You start flirting with numbers that are getting close to an inch. You got Memphis at over an inch here. You got Raleigh about half an inch, Atlanta at 3/4 of an inch, right? Say with Nashville, you're looking at some pretty good odds for some power outages. We switch this over to radial icing. That is the ice that accumulates on power lines and tree branches. You start getting to 1/4 inch of that or greater, and it leads to those not being able to support that ice weight, and those lines collapse, the trees collapse, etc. The branches break, and that leads to some power outages as well. So you see Memphis at about half an inch there, Raleigh about 1/5 of an inch, and Atlanta possibly 1/4 of an inch. So all those areas dealing with the possibility for some major blackouts and power outages. Now let's zoom into Middle Georgia. What numbers are we seeing in regards to this? Well, not nearly as bad. All right, with the flat icing, you got Forsyth as the slick spot here at about 1/4 of an inch. Again, that's the flat icing, so that's just on the surface. If we convert this over to the radial, which is what accumulates on power lines and whatnot, again, Forsyth is the icy spot at 1/10 of an inch. That's not quite enough for widespread power outages. Could it lead to some? Absolutely. But it's not enough for widespread. But this is still enough to lead to some very, very slick conditions. And again, make sure you got stuff stocked up, all right? Plan for the possibility for power to go out. You know, if you can't cook, you know, you need something that you can eat at room temperature. Make sure you got water, things along those lines, extra charging banks in the event. But make sure also, of course, that you can stay warm, because we do expect some big time cold once this system is done. Your extended forecast is coming up in 10 seconds.
Every new Volume Chevrolet comes with our exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and oil changes for life. Volume Chevrolet.
Your 41 NBC AccuWeather 7-day forecast is presented by Volume Chevrolet. So we're going to keep it warm next couple of days. Didn't really talk too much about those rain odds. There's really nothing major happening there. There's going to be some light showers. The focus is over the weekend, and I think a lot of it could be rain. But again, we do still expect that this could be freezing rain on Sunday as well. Plan for that possibility. And you see how cold we go early next week. Overnight Monday into Tuesday, could be seeing lows below 20 degrees. So if you don't have power, you got to make sure you got a way to stay warm.